Good morning. My name is Dennis DeLoach, and I'm the host of the Uncle Jim Effect podcast. And welcome to episode number 42. We are moving right along, and I want to thank you for your support. We are growing tremendously, and I can't thank you enough. We are, I believe, at about 40,000 subscribers, and thank you, thank you. So let's get after it. Today is a very, very important podcast, very important topic that we're all experts at, and we do not want to be experts. And that the title of today's podcast is "What's Your Excuse?" We've all got them, and we're going to figure out a way today to get rid of them and why we have them. So I want to thank, first of all, Tony Robbins uh, for a lot of this information. He is fantastic. And so a lot of what we've got has come from him, but it's such good stuff that, again, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. When we find something that works, dang it, we want to stick with it. So we're going to talk a lot about things that he has created or uncovered in the past. And so let's start with a quote like we always do. And basically, this is from Anonymous, and it says, "There are only two options in life: to make progress or to make excuses." Think about that. Only two options. We're either making progress. And I thought a lot about what does progress look like? Because sometimes we attempt things and fail. That's progress, as long as we don't make excuses and quit. So, failing at something over and over and over, as long as you do not quit or make an excuse to stop, is progress. And so, in life, we're either making progress or we're making excuses. And we're going to learn how to quit making excuses. So, Tony talks about three reasons that we make excuses. And he basically says all of those excuses that we make in our lives can be categorized into or under one of these three reasons. The first and the biggest one is fear. How does fear play into us making excuses? Basically, it's a fear of failure or a lack of confidence. And so, how many of us look at a big goal or a big challenge and we think, man, I really want to do that, or I've seen someone else do that, or that really stimulates me, and I want to do something like that. But yeah, I'm not going to do that because I don't have the success he does or she does, and I'm not going to. I'll probably not. It'll not work out. So that's a fear of failure, and that's the biggest reason why we make excuses. Is if something's been done before by anybody, it can be done again by us. Maybe not to that level, but it can absolutely be done. And so the only reason we would choose not to do something would be a fear of failure, or for whatever reason, it's going to affect my self esteem or my standing before my friends or whatever. And if the truth be known, they really don't care and they're not looking at our life under a microscope most of the time like we think they are. And so fear of failure is one of the top reasons that we make excuses, and one that we need to face and eliminate. How do we eliminate fear in our life? We've had a whole podcast devoted to this in the past. If you don't remember it, go back and review it, but it was a good one. And how we overcome fear is to stare right down the barrel at whatever it is that scares us. And so, if, for example, we don't want to undertake the process to get in shape or to lose weight, what is it that we're afraid of? We're afraid that we're going to continue to stay overweight or we're going to stay out of shape. We'll just sit down and look at every instance of what happens. And basically, as you stare and confront fear head on, you eliminate it because you realize that there's not much to fear other than keeping fear hidden and not facing it. And then it becomes that proverbial monster in the closet that gets bigger and bigger, even though you've never seen it for a long time. It's just we imagine it's in there getting bigger and bigger. And so we want to overcome fear. And that's the first reason that we make excuses. The second one is for uncertainty. One of the most powerful needs we have in life is to have certainty. Our brains are geared over millennia of time to provide certainty and safety for us. And a lot of times, some of these 10x goals that we're setting, we have to become uncertain about. And there's an element of, when I say unsafety, unsafety that we get to relax and we know what's happening every day. Not that we're not going to be safe, but we get out of our safe comfort zone and try to accomplish things that we haven't accomplished before. And so uncertainty is a powerful, powerful emotion. And in our lives, we're driven to avoid uncertainty. I mean, our minds are literally geared that way. And so the thought of, wow, what's going to happen if I do this? I haven't been here before, or I haven't taken my business to that level, or I've never learned a new language, or I've never developed this skill. There are uncertain moments, and that's going to be painful. And what am I afraid of? All of those things we have to take into account. And those are reasons that we continue to make excuses not to do that. And then the third one that is mentioned is lack of purpose. And I think how we determine that, and we've talked about this a lot, is how do we find our purpose? What is it that drives us in life? Once we find our purpose, and nobody can outline, you can't copy someone else's. You really have to find that thing in your heart that drives you, that creates purpose for you, that makes you get up in the morning, that you're passionate about. Once you find that, and everything you do in life should revolve around what that purpose is, that then helps you avoid making excuses. If we do not know what our purpose is, then it doesn't matter what I do, and I can always quit it because I'm not driven by it. So we want to overcome fear. We want to overcome uncertainty. And then we want to know what our purpose is. If we can do those three things, we're going to eliminate almost every excuse we have. And isn't that the goal for most of us in life? I want to now talk about some steps to overcoming excuses that are discussed. And Tony Robbins talks about this, and he lists 9 ways. And I love these. The first one is to take responsibility. And he says the past does not control your future unless you live there. The past does not control your future unless you live there. What does that mean? That means that if I failed over and over in business, if I failed over and over in losing weight or getting healthy, if I failed over and over in relationships, it is not good for you to say, well, the last 5 times I've tried this, it has not worked. That's living in the past, right? And your future is not controlled by what you did yesterday unless you live there and live in the midst of all that failure. I think it was Benjamin Franklin that basically found and said that basically as we overcome obstacles, it can take our whole life to overcome these obstacles. And we literally get up and try every day. I think it was Thomas Edison that said, I didn't fail 10,000 times trying to invent the light bulb. I just finally ran out of ways to not do it, and I found the right way to do it. And if you think about that, that's really the attitude you want. So we want to make sure and take responsibility of where I am today. So my ability to create and realize 10x dreams in life absolutely sits on my shoulders, and I have to take responsibility for it. As long as I realize it's not what happened in my past, it's not my friend, my wife, my husband, my spouse, it's not my business partner, it's not my education level, it's not what I've done in the past. I take responsibility for right now where I'm at and what I'm doing. Once I do that, it opens so many doors. So, steps to overcoming excuses. First one is to take responsibility for where you currently are and get after it and eliminate these excuses. The second one is to shift your perspective. And remember, life is happening for you, not to you. And that's a big one. Life is happening for you. When we have setbacks, when we have mistakes, when we have to overcome things, it is happening for us. There's a reason for that, and not to you. And let me share with you an example that just happened to me yesterday. We're down here at our Florida home. You can see in the back, this is just a beautiful area, and we were playing pickleball. And we're in a big tournament coming up here in a few weeks. Life's been really good for me physically, and really been improving, getting in shape, doing all those things. And yesterday we're playing, and we were at the pickle garden at the Yards, which is at Sawgrass golf course here in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. Just a beautiful facility. Camille and I were playing, and when you went on a court, they split you up, and then you get new partners. And so I was playing with this lady who was pretty good, and there was a point up by the net, and so I sprinted up to get it. Realized I couldn't get to it at the last second, and stopped. When I stopped, I blew out my ACL on my left knee. I've had that ACL surgery done back in 1980 when I was playing football up at Utah State University. My right knee I had replaced, so I have a total knee replacement back in November of 2021. And I was feeling great. I was feeling quick and everything was working. Yesterday afternoon or morning, I blew out my ACL on my left knee. And so I've got a good excuse not to continue playing. But just so happened, one of the guys we were playing with was a retired orthopedic surgeon, Kurt Blosser, down here in Florida. I want to shout out to him because he connected me with his surgical partner. And anyway, I'm going to go visit with him today or tomorrow and get that looked at. But anyway, as he was looking at that, he said, they don't really repair ACLs at your age. Thank you, Kurt. But I was going to get the knee replaced anyway, but it's 6 to 8 weeks to let the surgery and the bleeding stop, go down. And at this point, so I've been icing it and doing all that, but I made a commitment last week. I've got this workout regimen I was doing every day except Sundays. I committed to doing 100 kettlebell swings and then some other sit-ups and other things that I committed to do 6 days a week. And I've got a great excuse not to go there today, but I'm going to head there when I'm done filming. And it's just, what is your excuse? So I have to shift my perspective. I could have said, "Holy Toledo, here I'm on a roll. I blow out my ACL. That's a pretty good excuse to quit." I'm not going to quit because I've been making excuses my whole life. It's just an excuse. So get after it. There's things I can do. I can do all these things. I'm not saying to do something that's going to injure you permanently, but there are ways around everything. So quit making excuses. And I hope that's an example. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, that happened to me yesterday, that you can apply in your life for some good. Again, life is happening for you, not to you. I don't know. I can't say I can't believe life dealt me this ACL blowout yesterday. So there's a reason why it happened to me. So life's happening for me. And we'll find out, and I'll report down the road why that happened. That's such a good thing, but it will be. So number 3 is uncover your limiting beliefs. Um, these are the stories we tell ourselves, like, "Oh yeah, my family's always been big boned," or I've never been able to do business, or I've never been a runner, or I've never done these things. That's a story you tell yourself. So when the words come out of your mouth that I can't or I never, you're exactly right. It is going to happen. So you have to uncover your limiting beliefs. What is it that you say to yourself that eliminate your ability before you even start to accomplish the goals that you say you want to do? And that's number 3. Number 4 is a close one right to it. Once you uncover your limiting beliefs, which is number 3, number 4 says change your story. So you've uncovered what I normally say. Well, change your dialogue instead of, "Oh yeah, I've always been big. My family's always been big. We've never been runners." Change your story. My story now is I am a runner, right? Whatever. I am a businesswoman. I am a businessman. I am healthy beyond belief. Whatever that is, change your story. Create a new belief system, and then use it. Internal dialogue. Talk about it. Say it. Don't let negative words come out of your mouth. Right? It'd be easy for me to say yesterday, "Oh, the ACL, man, it blew it. My knees just aren't that good." That's about the 6th knee surgery I've had. That will now be the 2nd total knee replacement. I'm actually excited about it. So don't let the story. I refuse to let fate dictate to me what my attitude is going to be or what I accomplish in life. You need to do the same. Okay, number 5 is find the lesson. You only fail, as we mentioned earlier, if you quit or if you make if you make excuses. So what is the lesson? I told you that I'm going to find out why the ACL tore. Now, if I could pick it, would I have picked it? No, I'm not going to pick it, but the Lord's smarter than me. Isn't that the truth? And so there's a reason that stumbling block got put in my way. I was probably doing something a little different or heading down the wrong path and needed to correct my path. I promise you that there will be a time down the road we'll all look back and say, "Oh, that's why That's why I blew out that ACL. I had to learn this lesson. I had to move that direction. I had to get this opportunity presented to me. So find the lesson. And again, you only fail if you make an excuse and quit. So that was number 5. Number 6 is stop overthinking. Okay. How many of us plan and plan and plan and plan and plan and never do? Nike hit it on the head, whatever it was, 50 years ago when they said, just do it. That's exactly it. Quit planning. The planning ought to be a one sentence uh, declaration in your mind. You know what? I think I ought to get in shape. Bam, go do it. Go on a walk. Quit eating donuts. Sign up for a cheap gym membership. Put your shoes on. You don't need to go buy new ones. Put your shoes on and workout gear and go. Just do it. Just get after it. So take massive action, not planning steps. We all plan things to death. Paralysis by analysis. We'll come up with a 16-day plan on how to get started when all we got to do is put our doggone shoes on and get out the door. So that's number 6. Number 7 is define your vision. What is our blueprint for life? Again, it comes back to when we determine what our purpose in life is, that is why I exist, why I'm here. My vision is, okay, now I know for me, for example, I want to help people realize their God-given potential because I realize in my life, my Uncle Jim did that for me. And it literally changed the trajectory of my life to where I went from being someone I believe would have been down the path heading completely south. And now I'm on the path heading completely north. And because of that man and his, unbeknownst to him, I believe, commitment to just say positive things to me, it changed my life. Uh, because of that, I'm committed to doing that for other people. So that's my purpose. My vision is I want to create opportunities for 10 million or more people to realize their God given potential. And then not only that, once they do, to magnify that God given potential that they've just discovered, serving themselves, their family, their friends, their neighbors, and their communities. And as we do that, we're going to create this tsunami of hope. I heard last night, I was watching the men's NCAA basketball final, and they were talking on there about this hope. And it was, I believe it was a little show that they had put on there. Anyway, it was talking about all this hope and how the world needs hope. And it just hit me. I thought, you know what, we got a small part in it. Just there's got to be some hope in this world, and people are getting fed up with all the stuff that's going on. And there's starting to be an uprising amongst these normal people that go out and work for a living that aren't vocal. Anyway, we're going to be a part of that, and it resonated in my mind that hey, you're a part of that, and continue doing what you're doing, and we're going to keep doing that. So define your vision. Once you determine what your purpose is, once I know what my passion and my purpose is, then specifically what's that vision I see in a year, 6 months, 2 years, 10 years. Number 8, set goals. And we all know about the SMART system, the specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and then the time frame. So when we set a goal, we'll review real quick. We want to be specific. I said in my goal, I want to create opportunities for 10 million people. That's pretty specific. Is it measurable? Absolutely. We can measure how many people have listened to the podcast, how many people have we talked about, how many people have read the book, how many people have we done. So we can measure that. Is it achievable? Absolutely. Is it a 10x goal? Absolutely. So it's out there. And I realize it scares me when I hear that number. In fact, I upped it. I was a million. I said that's scary, but that doesn't scare me and keep me up at night. 10 million does. So it's achievable. Is it realistic? Absolutely. If I don't quit, why can't it be? And then the time frame. The only thing I didn't put on that is a time frame, and so I'm still working on that. Whether it's in a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, that doesn't matter as much to me. But there has to be a time frame, or else there's no urgency. Then finally, get support. So the ninth step into overcoming excuses, get support. And by support, we mean get a mentor, get an accountability partner, get someone that holds you to these things. You say it's easy to write them down and say it, and you think, well, no one knows it, so it's not really a big deal. But when you express this to the world, like I've told you guys 100 times, I want to create opportunities for 10 million or more people to realize their God-given potential. That's out there. I can't retract that. That's on the internet. I'm going to be held accountable for that forever. So uh, get support. So let's review real quick the 9 steps to overcoming excuses. 1, take responsibility. 2, shift your perspective. 3, uncover your limiting beliefs. 4, change your story. 5, find the lesson in why you're failing. 6, stop overthinking things. Just take massive action and just do it like Nike. 7, define your vision. 8, set goals. And 9, get support and get someone to hold you accountable. I'm really proud of you. I know as we do this journey together, don't get frustrated. That's absolutely normal. Just one step in front of the other, one step in front of the other. In my life, those things I've accomplished in the world of trail runs, mountain hikes, and that, to me, I've talked about my lack of prowess as a great mountain runner. I'm a big guy. I'm 250 plus pounds, almost 6'3", and I'm just not built for running. But guess what? I can put one foot in front of the other. I can walk, I can hike, I can jog when I can. And you know what? I am a runner, and I've accomplished those goals. No one says you have to win a gold medal in the Olympics to be successful at it. So get after it. Get rid of your excuses. There are only 2 options in life, right? There are only 2 options. You're either making progress or making excuses. Quit making excuses and continue making progress. Progress means I want 2 steps forward, 1 step back. As long as I don't quit, I'm good. Tomorrow, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. And some days I got 1 step forward and 2 steps back. As long as I don't quit, I'm good. All right. Thank you so much. Please subscribe below. Share this with your family and friends. Like our podcast. You can see us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Music. We're excited and continue to grow, and we will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.